Good morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to review this. It is the Rimmel Magnif'eyes Eye Contouring Palette. I just had a look to see if there were any other reviews on YouTube or blogs and I cannot see a single review of this. I'm assuming that it is literally just out. I didn't see it in Boots, this was in Superdrug, I got this in Superdrug. And I can't even find it online other than on Superdrug. So yeah, pretty new product. And I was quite excited because I liked the colours. And all of these, you know, drugstores have been coming out with palettes for a while now, haven't they? And I think they've all been pretty good. Not great, not wonderful, but pretty good. And so it was nice to see another one out there. And the colours in this one I thought were really pretty. There's actually 3 types. I'll show you the colours in a moment. So there's 3 different types of these. This one is called London Nudes Calling. Go back up to Rimmel. The other ones are, there's one called Grunge Glamour, which has got sort of some purples and grey and a bit of sort of bluey type colour in it, a bluey grey. And there's another one called Keep Calm and Wear Gold, and obviously that is all golds. They are £7.99 if you buy one, but they've currently got an offer in Superdrug for 2 for £10, so it would be £10 if you wanted 2 of the palettes. It's just a little plastic palette. It's pretty cheap looking, but it works okay. It's got a little mirror in the top there, and that's not something that ever interests me. It's got your usual applicator, which I have used actually. I don't think many of us use those applicators, do they? So let's have a look at the shadows and let me tell you what's happened. And you can probably see that some of them look a bit kind of jacked up, I guess you'd say. And there's a reason for that. So I first swatched them, and of course the first thing you do is swatch them on your finger. So I'm going to need some wipes and some tissues. Let me try and swatch my finger. So I swatched the first one, not too bad. That's just a matte cream colour. Swatch the second one, again not too bad. It's a sort of matte slash satin. And the third one was the colour that really interested me. It's a kind of peachy gold. Not very much from the swatch, although that's more than I have got before, and I think that's because I've been trying to sort of scrape it. But as soon as I went over it, it went shiny. It's got that kind of hard pan thing on it. That is definitely the best swatch I've got. The one next to that is a good crease colour, and actually that one swatches very nicely. So that's 4, how many is in here? 8, yes, so we'll just do those 4. So that's the first 4, and let me swatch them on my hand here. So you can see that the first 2 mattes just haven't swatched at all. I mean, you can see a little bit of that one there. That sort of rosy gold colour has swatched a little bit, and that crease colour, actually it's a little bit mauvey, isn't it? I didn't even notice that, but I used that this morning. I haven't got it on now, and I'll explain that in a moment as well. But that one is really, really nice. That crease colour there, absolutely lovely. Really like that one. Yeah, lovely. Okay, let me wipe these off, and no, I'll just do it with tissue because I've got fake tan on. Okay, so let's look at the next 4 colours, which are the kind of matte. They're all shimmers. So total, the last 4 are shimmers, sorry, that we're going to swatch. Total of 5 shimmers and 3 mattes. So you have got your brow bone colour. You have got a really nice crease colour. The brow bone colour's not too bad. And then you've got that sort of peachy satin one, which I guess you could use for a lighter brow colour. So like I said, the next 4 are shimmery. That's swatch one, number 1. Now this next one was the one that appealed to me the most because it swatched really well. The third one, yeah, that swatch doesn't look too bad, but again, it went shiny as soon as I put my hand on it. And then number 4 is just a dark brown. So that's a swatch of the colours there. And again, let's try and swatch them. So that's how they swatch. So interesting. It's so interesting to see them swatched. So you can see that one there, that kind of, it's a sort of burgundy red colour, didn't swatch very well at all. And that the very light silver, it's a sort of lilac-y silver, didn't swatch very well at all. That last, actually that one is not a shimmer, my apologies, that's more of a satin. Yeah, more of a satin at the end there. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 shimmers, 3 mattes and 1 satin, something like that. And that one swatched very well, as did that one, and I thought this one was lovely. To be honest with you, they're actually swatching a little bit better now I have disturbed them, but I just felt like I wasn't really getting enough colour from any of them, so I thought let me try with this little applicator, and this is definitely the best way to use it. And the reason is you can actually kind of dig into it and get some pigment up. So if I sort of dig into that shadow and get some pigment on the brush, like, you know, a clump of pigment, I swatched it and was like, oh yeah, that's much better and that's really pretty. Let me do a little bit more so you can see it. But you really have to actually dig some of the eyeshadow up, which is not ideal. So that's that one. So can you see how much better a swatch it is once you've got some actual pigment going on? And then what was the other one that was like that? The main two, unfortunately, with the main two colours that I love, the main two that were difficult to swatch with these two here, you can see how they've got that hard pan on them already. But again, using this brush, you sort of dig into it a bit, so create some dust and then get some of that on the brush. It's a messy way of doing it, I'm not going to lie. But I was trying to, you know, I didn't want to just throw it away or assume that it wouldn't work. I wanted to see what the actual colours were like before I put them on my eyes. So that's the other one. So I got these swatches and I thought, oh, absolutely beautiful. And those are the colours I wanted to try. I don't know why I'm blowing that dust all over my bedroom. And then, of course, there was that one that swatched beautifully, which is that nice sort of lilac-y grey. So when you look at swatches like that, somebody's watching me. Sorry about that, I got distracted from somebody in my courtyard was looking in, obviously wondering what I was doing. So yeah, I was quite excited to use this and I thought I'll either use this colour all over the lid or this one, or I'll use that one that swatched really well. You know, one of these three colours I will use all over my lid. So I started off with this colour this morning and I put it all over my lid. And this is very reminiscent of the Naked 3 palette. It definitely, it's like a mini version, and it looking at it, you go, oh, that looks very much like it. I thought if I was going to mention that, I'd show it to you. So you can see, it was never meant to be a dupe, I don't think, but it definitely is reminiscent of that. I think that's what they were trying to achieve, a sort of semi-dupe. And although it swatches lovely, this is the most pigmented of them all. You know, just one swipe and you're done. It swatches well on the skin. It's very soft. It's very creamy. It's not powdery. It looked terrible on my eyes, but it just looked, I don't know whether it would look better on younger eyes. I will be interested to see what other reviews of this are like, because like I said, I looked and there were no reviews, and I thought, well, will I bother doing a review? Because I don't know, I feel mean at doing just a negative review, and I don't have very much positive to say about this palette. But when I saw there were no other reviews, I thought there might be people thinking, will I bother spending the money on it? It's, like I said, £7.99. And so I think it's worth you knowing what you're letting yourself in for. Like I said, I don't know whether it will look better on younger eyes, but on me, it looked choppy. The colour didn't look nice. It did not look like that colour on the eyes. It just looked a lot duller. I don't know why. I don't know how that's even possible. I've had that happen over the years and I never understand it. I'm like, how does it look so nice there, and then when I put it on, it doesn't look good? So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take that off and I'm going to use that light sort of peachy gold colour. So I did that. I used a different base, wiped my eyeshadow off completely, used it again, and I tried to put this one on, and it just looked terrible again. It didn't look bright. It looked really dull. I could barely get any pigment. I literally had to like dig either the brush in it or try and use my nail to get some pigment to get any eyeshadow on, and it was just too much. So I only did one eye with that one, and I wiped it off again, and I went, okay, last attempt, I'm going to use this burgundy colour all over my lid. And I had exactly the same problem with that as I did with this one here, in that I needed to use the brush to sort of dig in to dig up some pigment. That's literally what it was. And that meant that clumps were falling everywhere. And then when I did get it on my eye, it just didn't look good at all. It didn't look anything like that. I think it would just take a lot of work to build these up. Not so much with that one, but with these two, I think it would take a lot of work to build them up. I could have used this end colour, because this one and that sort of silvery purple have got really good pigment. But that one, it's just a dark brown. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's got any purple in it like the rest of them already. I don't know, maybe a slight bit. And it's nice enough, but with just that, using that colour and the crease colour, which was very good, I have to say the crease colour was very easy to blend and it went on smooth, it was lovely. And the brow colour was not too bad, it wasn't brilliant, it was okay. I had to keep going into that and really dig my brush in that as well. it was okay, but that's a real plain look. That's not something I would want from this palette. I would want the beautiful colours, which are these two here and that one there, you know, to feature in the eye look, and I just couldn't get any shadow from them. At this point, I was just over eyeshadow, and I was like, I'm over trying to wear an eye look today. I'm just going to put concealer on my eyes and do some liner. And I thought, oh, I'll do a little bit of a wing. And this is what happened. And then when I'd done that, I thought, oh, I can maybe wear a bit of a bolder lip. So I've got on the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Lolita. And yeah, I actually quite like this look, as it turns out. I often forget how much I enjoy not wearing eyeshadow, because every day it's like, oh, what eyeshadow shall I use? But yeah, I was just so totally fed up. And like I said, this colour wouldn't have produced anything amazing. I could have put a red base underneath it and made it look nice enough, but I think you'll have gathered by now that I think that this palette is a total fail. Total fail. Yes, it's only $7.99, but it's barely usable. It's really rubbish. Now, I suppose I could have got a dud one, but I doubt it very much. I would suspect that they are the same. There wasn't actually a tester out of the palette, so I think they were literally just in store. So I guess that's why there was no testers for me to check, because otherwise I might have just not bothered, and you might have seen this feature in a what I didn't buy at the drugstore, because I was going around taking pictures of things and didn't think I was going to get anything, but this definitely appealed to me, and I knew it would appeal to you guys. It's not that I need a drugstore palette, because I've got, like, I love my Naked 3 palette if I wanted these kind of colours, but I just thought this might be a really good bargain, and it's not. It's not a bargain at all. If you are interested in these types of colours, I would suggest I've just looked it up, the Makeup Revolution Iconic 3 palette. I thought the Iconic palettes from Makeup Revolution were mimicking the Lorac Pro palettes, but this number 3, Iconic 3, is definitely more of a dupe of the Naked 3. And although I haven't used that specific palette, I did have a look to see if they had it in yesterday actually, and they didn't in Superdrug. I have used a couple of Makeup Revolution palettes, and they have been fantastic. Everything I've used from them has been really, really good. I did a video on do you remember the Stila foil eyeshadows? They have got a dupe of that, and I had one, and it was really, really good. So that I reckon that would be a really good palette to go for if you're looking for something like this. And that one is £4 on Makeup Revolution. I'll link that one for you. That's everything. I'm sorry that was so negative. Like I said, I feel mean sometimes doing negative reviews, but I also, not that, I mean, I say negative things about products, of course I do, but I'm usually balancing it. I've normally said, oh, this is the great thing about it, and this is the not so great, so it might work for these type of people. But this one, I honestly just don't think it's worth anybody wasting their money on. I don't think it's good at all. If reviews start coming out saying that this is a good palette, I'm either going to question my sanity, or I'm going to question whether they are being paid for it, which I don't know why. I just wouldn't imagine would happen with Rimmel. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch. What have I got on my face? I have got on, oh, the foundation I've got on, I am trialing for you if you like. It's the Gosh Foundation and Conceal. I think it's called that, Foundation and Conceal. I don't know if it's new or not, but I have never seen it. I tried the foundation drops before, the Gosh Foundation drops, and I quite liked those, but I didn't love them. But this, I like the way it's applied today. I think it may be a little bit too light for me. I maybe need to go down a colour. And I think that I was thinking today about drugstore products, and to me the problem is in the range of colours. A lot of the time there isn't a huge range of colours. I say that because I also used the Gosh eyebrow gel with fibres, and I really liked it, but it's too dark, and the light one is definitely too light, so there's just only those two colours in it, unfortunately. And with this Gosh foundation, this is 002, and I've got a feeling that 003 is just too orangey for me, but I might actually have a look today if I go out. That's everything. Thank you very much for watching. I will speak to you again soon.